Failure and dreams. You know, a lot of people say that, despite what is often quoted, failure is not an option. Well, actually, failure is always an option, and it's something you can live with. It should be anticipated in the daily struggles towards success. I mean, let's be real. We all fail at some point. We all try something and failed, and it's aggravating, but it's something that you should anticipate. And giving up on obsolete dreams may be a good thing sometimes if that dream is unrealistic or doesn't suit your needs anymore. People say, don't ever give up on your dreams. Well, maybe. If your dream ain't getting you somewhere, maybe grab a different dream. Choose a new dream. Dreams are cheap. Alter them, change them around, change your dreams around and find something that's going to serve you better. Don't stick with, the old dream just because it's the dream. Jump on somebody else's cloud, Have fun with it. Don't be restricted by these old cliches, failure is not an option and never give up on your dreams. Of course you should. You'd be an idiot not to. So again, look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, is this serving me this year or not? Creative types and technicians, watch out. Tech types must be very careful not to shoot down the imaginative ideas of the creative type. It happens a lot. It might look like, a creative person might look crazy to a technical type, but it's actually just what is needed for interesting production work. An artist will always remember how you made them feel. A creative artist is always going to remember how they felt in the session, not necessarily what type of gear you used. They might take some interest in what type of microphone or processing you did, but they're really going to be more interested in how you made them feel. Did they feel safe and protected and not challenged on the microphone when they're trying to dump out their heart? Don't shut them down. Let them feel free to explore. I mean, you're being paid by the hour, right? So let them take their time. If they're wasting their time on the 20th solo, you might pipe in a little bit, but it's their dime. If they want to do 20 solos and go down that rabbit hole, mention it, but let them do it if they want to do that. When creatives clash with technicals, it can be a deal breaker. It can put a bad vibe on the session, which you don't want to ruin that mood. And it can, I've seen clients walk out of the room, not because of me, but because of somebody else made them feel terrible. And I've seen a girl in tears because of the way a bass player was talking to her. And that really kind of takes a dump on the whole session and the creative environment. So I try to discourage letting people in that are going to be like that. It is my business. I can't control who comes and goes into my studio. I can suggest that certain people need to leave. I don't do that too often, but I have asked certain people to go and sit in another room. It's kind of harsh, but hey, I'm paid to do a job. Identify your type early on and stick with it. Know the distinction between, are you a creative type or are you more of a technical type? And one is not better than the other. They're just two bookends. And identify your type early on and make the important distinction early on, and basically know your place. If you're a technical type and you're going to try to be creative, that's great. Or the other way around, if you're a creative artist and you want to learn more about technology, take that on by all means, and you'll be a better producer. But if you're having a hard time deciding which you are, maybe ask yourself a question: how much have you actually created in the past, say, 2 or 3 weeks or month? Or have you just been looking at and considering buying more gear? I do both, but I try to balance that. I try to ride that down the middle, and I'll purchase new gear and then I'll use it right away on a session. You know, if I got a new mic or a new compressor or something, I'll put it to use right away. I'll read the manual right away and then put it up on the first singer or percussionist or horn player that I can find. Even if it's for free, I'll do a free session just to learn a new piece of gear. It's money well spent, it's time well spent. And the musician that's helping you out, he can come over and jam for a few hours on his guitar, giving you an option just to play around with all the settings of your gear. You know, it's a great way to learn it. Plus, you know, he's going to get a free recording of it, so it's a win-win for everybody. So make the distinction. Are you a creative? Are you a technical? Or are you both? You might be just a curator. I know friends of mine that just like acquiring gear, just like, you know, somebody might collect shoes or cars. You know, you might not drive all those cars, but you just like sitting in the garage and looking at them. You know, if it makes you feel good, it's your money. If it brings you happiness, that's great. You're a curator. Don't threaten to open up a recording studio if you're not into technology. Or don't threaten to, you know, write a bunch of songs if you're not writing songs every week already. Find somebody who is writing songs. You know, let them use your gear. So, you know, owning equipment and having technical skills is very important, obviously, but it does not make you a creative type at all. Ideas, you know, good ideas, a great sense of humor, insane originality, these are all the gifts of a creative, you know, so look yourself in the mirror and really answer that question. Which type are you? And then you'll be saving yourself a lot of disappointment that way. And you know, you won't be wasting other people's time either. I get lots of bands and artists coming in to record, and I see many of them making the same mistakes, wasting valuable time and money. I thought it might be nice to share my thoughts on this with you to perhaps help you avoid making some of the same mistakes. So if you're about to hit the studio, check out my top 10 ways to save time and big money during your recording session. If you'd like to check it out, just hit the link down below and I'll send it to you at no cost. That way, the next time you're ready to record, you'll know what to do to prepare for your next session. How to keep your bandmates on track and avoid making common pitfalls. How to communicate more effectively with your local studio and engineer to ensure that you get the best rates every time before you book.